Right, so I'd like to welcome Bridget. Bridget is from Ketton Scout Group, where she's GSL. And like a lot of you out there, she's been running her sections through Zoom. So I'm going to get Bridget to tell you a little bit about what she's been doing with their sections, but also what she's been doing and the things that she's found out being the GSL as well. So, Bridget, over to you.
Hello, everybody. Well, like everybody, we were all thrown in the deep end on that March the 16th, where we were all saying, that's it, we've shut doors. We're not a tech-savvy group. We are an outdoor, probably 95% outdoor group and outdoor activities. And our leadership team and our leaders were thrown in the deep end. So like everybody, we've been on a huge, big learning curve. We went online searching straight away because we knew that we wanted to be having a group, an active group within sort of, we set ourselves a target that every section would be online by the 1st of April. So we drove we all knew we had our first ever team meeting for all leaders had a part in. We made the decision once we were running, we would never stop running until we were back to normal. So we've never had a break. We tried all different platforms. We tried Teams. We tried Skype. We tried a Facebook room. It just didn't work for us because we're not tech savvy. So we went with Zoom and we purchased a license. We purchased 2 licenses, and we've never, touched some wood, had a hitch since we started. So yeah, so that was the best thing. It's nerve-wracking. I can't tell everybody, it's not, we're out of our comfort zone, and everybody feels, it's you're always trying to think, what can we do next? And I think from my point of view, the simpler the things, the more children get out of it, the more of our young members get out of it. A lot of my leaders are saying today that they are frustrated about scavenger hunts. When I spoke to the parents, they begged me not to stop doing the scavenger hunts. We have parents flying in with, we've done things with the colour purple, which seemed quite easy. But we give them a 5-minute timer. We use a gadget where we put the 5-minute timer up and it counts them down. It works through Cub Scouts and Beavers. And they go off and scavenger hunt, but we can see them. They're flying around. You've got parents digging up things. When we did H, somebody held up the Hoover. we did a P for piano. We had a piano appear at the back. And then the D for drill. At some point when we're all back together, we've got some amazing video clips. Just from the things that we do. The trouble is we were only saying it's only been 12 weeks.
Yes.
It's been 12 weeks. And where we started to where we are today, and obviously knew I was going to have a chat with you, what were our best moments?
Yeah.
Well, I could write an epic. Every single week in, we as a family of scouting, we scout on a Monday now. So we have scouts on a Monday. We pulled our beavers 2 sections together and have beavers on a Tuesday. And then we have Cub Wednesday. The other thing we also have is obviously with siblings being involved. So we've got families where we've got somebody in every section. All of our young leaders, they're all involved in the Cub group. So that it's an age group where we can keep an eye, and they're even running sections and finding things and being part of everything. So across those 3 sections, we're ploughing in all the time. But, I tell you what, I've got to say you one thing. One of our young leaders' dad has a fire engine.
Oh, wow.
Okay, they live opposite the hut where we are actually. So when it was the F, when she went and took outside, it was a fire engine, and everybody just went, I can't compete. How can you compete when you've got a fire engine in your garden?
I love it.
Because you've got to find things that are different. And the other one that we really liked is the G for grass, and they bought a big tray of grass and Mother wasn't impressed. But no, outdoors, indoors. I just don't, it's very, very difficult because I'm very passionate about how well they've all done. I'm extremely passionate. We have ups and downs. We were so excited as a group to go. We were so ready for STEM camp, for it to be taken away from us. We were just, so we sat there, we had a team meeting, decided that we were going to do STEM camp, and we did fake it. So like I say, when we all get back together, we have got some excellent videos to show where you can see Tim, who is our scout leader. He was doing the toilet talk outside on the lawn. It's the one thing I always look forward to. I don't know why. It's obviously a Ketton thing. They do look forward to the toilet talk. So about 2 days before STEM camp, obviously we were preparing them. So we had the toilet talk. And then we thought at first that there was only us doing it because they hadn't quite grasped what faking it was. And then they grasped it. And then we had whole families who were canoeing on the rivers, but with plastic. We had a raising of the flag. I've got a whole video of a family who did the whole STEM camp from beginning to end, but faking it. They set up caves, so they went caving on the cave bus. They went ice hockeying, so they had plastic sheets and they were doing it was just brilliant. And even down to when they all sat to have their picnic outside, they were throwing crisps, because that's what we always do. They always say, what flavour? And they vinegar, salt, vinegar, cheese and onion, just things like that, which then we can share. Because we have the other thing is we link it with a closed Facebook group. So we have a closed Facebook group where only parents are allowed, the children that are on there. It's not outward, and it's a contract that we go into. No sharing out of there. And that means they can securely put their videos and share it amongst them. And that's really spreading it as well.
That's fantastic. So it sounds like they've all had an amazing time. Also sounds like they've been doing a huge amount of badges as well.
Yes, we on the mailing out as we speak. Don't know how many more of the houses have got badges all around. The first thing we did, I had all the badges brought here because and then basically because we're fortunate, there's not a lot of mailing out for us because with being in a strategic area, it can be delivered. So, and we've got young readers based in each area that pop the stuff in. The one thing we have done, because we've just done our first term, is we've awarded. I've only got the badger one, beaver ones here, but we gave them all a certificate for everybody that attended, who never missed a session from the first of the whole of the term. Because the other thing is as GSL, not as a leader, I worry about those that we're not seeing.
Okay, you were saying as well, wasn't you, Bridget, earlier, that as GSL, you've got some young people that hadn't really got to grips with the Zoom, and actually it was more due to the fact that they were being zoomed out from school. So what have you done to get around that?
Well, it's been quite. I can't say it's from my own ideas, because obviously we spend a lot of time looking on the virtual Facebook page, because that's where a lot of inspiration comes from. But what we did was, having spoken, I run a list of everybody who'd been on, and I rang everybody on a text message to say, would it be okay to ring you? And then I rang them all. And so I spoke to every single parent, and I got some really good feedback. That's how I found out they were zoomed out. It was too early. Well, we had to move the time of our beavers because it was hitting evening meal time, and it was a bit difficult. And with the weather being nicer, we moved it a bit later because they weren't going to bed. So it was all little things like that to pick up. So then what we did was we put the challenges. Now, we set a challenge every week, no matter, through all 3 sections have a challenge, and that can be as simple as drawing a picture, or it can be, what can you make out of a toilet roll? See,
Wow.
this is out of a toilet roll. This is out of a milk carton. I mean, I'm not saying the leaders are competitive or anything, you know. And then we did a whole meeting where, because, you know, we might have been a bad week, so we all came in masks, you know. So it meant that those that didn't do Zoom could make the craft and make the things out of Lego or whatever, but then they take a photograph of it and they're still part of it, and then we show the photos to the others that they're still part of it.
That's fantastic.
So it's bringing each side in.
And you're running this for all 3 sections?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say, other than the STEM camp faking it, what would you say have been the best activities that you've run?
Quite like bingo, especially now that we've added the finding the young people are deciding for the funniest lines they can come up with, like, you know, legs 11. They are all clean, but there's a lot. They're trying to do scouting knots, you know, 88 is 2 big knots, you know, things like that. They are trying their hardest to make it more fun, but it gets quite competitive. That's a simple thing because that's online.
Yeah.
They just choose 10 numbers and we get the ball machine rolling. Kim's game, that's another really good one. But Beaver, I mean, I was trying to say earlier, I think the scavenger hunting, as much as we keep thinking it's boring, it isn't boring to them because they're looking forward to it. Don't underestimate or make it that complicated. For them running around the house to find something or to do something or a craft or just to show what they have done means so much more. We just underestimate it. We're always trying to think, oh, they need zooming lights and all that. They don't. The simple things like, and the other thing we do with our Facebook group is in between, if we set a challenge, we'll then remind them all, how's it going? How's your egg cup going? How's your, I mean, we have Spitfires. I've got everything here. Spitfires, everything. How are you doing with it? And encourage them to do more that way.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. So we've got the last part of the summer term upon us.
Yep.
Before summer holidays. So what have you got planned? What's Ketton going to be up to?
Ketton and Beavers are doing the 30 Days Wild with the Wildlife File Trust, and we are challenging them to complete that. And that's with the beavers. The cubs we're going on a virtual tour. It's going to be something new and exciting up at RF Coningsby, I believe. That's all being organised by somebody else. So
that sounds fun.
And I think that's where we're going to try and use more of the virtual tour stuff to give them. It ticks off some of the badge work as well that we need them to actually have looked at their activities, to have been to a museum or whatever. That gives us that sort of tick in the box. And it will be challenging to find what we can make something out of next.
That sounds absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Bridget. That has been brilliant. Thank you.
Good luck, everybody.
Right, so I've got with us now Adam from Sleaford. Adam is the DC over at Sleaford District, and he's just going to have a quick chat with us all and tell us the sort of thing that they've been up to in the district, especially with what they've been doing during lockdown and how him and his district team have been supporting the groups that are actually within their district, and any little, little snippets of advice and or things that have really impressed them and happened a little bit out of the ordinary during this time. So Adam, over to you. What's been happening in Sleaford?
So we're always busy and something's always happening in Sleaford. So I've been really impressed with the groups that we work with, because most groups have managed to keep something going. It's very different to what they're used to, but the way they're working plays to the volunteers' strengths. So, like, not every group is working in the same way. So some groups are very good and hosting Zoom meetings. So I've been and joined groups for murder mystery evenings. I've joined groups who have been playing online bingo or various games online and things like that using Zoom. But then we've also got groups where the volunteers aren't quite so au fait with some of these platforms, and so are using Facebook pages to send projects to the young people. So it's like, right, we'll go a baking competition, and they're using their Facebook group to send instructions out to the young people and the parents, explaining what it is that you need to do this week, and send us the pictures in and of what you've done. And that's really nice, because you've got that two-way communication happening as well. So you see young people working towards badges. They've got really clear guidance. This week we're doing this, it's going to contribute towards this. And then it's quite nice to see that the group are then also following up and putting congratulations and doing virtual badge presentations on their Facebook pages and things like that. So although you can't stand and shake the young person's hand, you can put a post up there of the badge and well done on completing such and such an award. And other groups have been producing, I know one of our ADCs has been working on some badge packs, so that the groups can send the badge pack out to their sections. You know, maybe the section leader doesn't have time to write a badge pack, but we can support them with that, and they can take that out to the beaver colonies or wherever, and the young people and parents have got a really structured document they can work through that explains what it is they need to complete this badge. Because some of our badge requirements aren't they're written for a scout leader to understand and not a parent to understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's one of the things that some groups have looked at. From a district point of view, it's been really nice to see groups doing virtual camps. So some of our groups have ran, some have just ran a nights away event in their group. Just like one night, we want you to camp out this night, but other groups have risen to the whole challenge. And I know Woodall Spa at Easter ran a complete camp weekend with activities and stuff, and it was really, really good to actually see scout leaders, young people and parents really engaged in an activity. And although sort of we're not getting together, you could see that sort of families were making memories and sort of, and hopefully we can build on that going forwards. And next Easter, when hopefully we might be able to do proper camps at Easter, we might be able to pull on that parental engagement we've had this year, where they go, you know what, I actually enjoyed doing that in the back garden, and I might want to get involved in future.
A little bit of recruitment going on in this lockdown time then.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So with the actually, I think I've seen on Facebook as well, you even did the toilet roll challenge, didn't you, as a district?
Yeah, so we got involved with doing a toilet roll challenge. So it started off with just a few of the explorers, but we got sort of the wider district team and some of their parents involved that are scout leaders, and that was really good to get young people involved. We also set the challenge to a group of explorers, and you sometimes forget the skills and how competent explorers can be. And that they are more capable than you think sometimes. And we set them the challenge of, here's a script that we were going to use in church for St George's Day, story of St George. And we actually gave that to the group of explorers, and they put together that as a film, and they all filmed the individual parts, sent it into one of the explorers, who then pulled it all together into one video that we could share with the explorers on St George's Day as kind of, this is your St George's Day activity. So there's skills out there. So it's sort of, even if an adult volunteer isn't that, comfortable with doing some of these things, putting a video together and things like that, explorers are quite a good resource. I did see today a really nice one where another group has started to put together a video, and I think it was a virtual water fight. So sort of someone throwing buckets of water at each other. So I think that could be something that takes off.
That sounds very wet.
Yeah.
Explorers and water. Yeah. So
even worse, commissioners with water.
yeah, okay, let's not go there.
Yeah.
So what's impressed you most though about what's been going on in your district?
I think what's impresses me the most is how stuck in people are getting. People don't seem to be going, you know, let's just take a few months off and, you know, let's just write the year off. And people are still from day one. It's like, how can we keep things going? How can we keep things engaged? And I did get an email from a parent the other day, and because we've been using the free Zoom for some meetings, and a parent sort of went, you know, it's really nice hearing my son engaged in scouting activities, that it's still able to happen, but you know, you keep having to stop your meeting and restart it every 40 minutes, and you know, I'm quite happy to pay for that. And we're sort of, no, the Scout Association have, you know, are putting something in place, but thanks for letting us know that you really appreciate what's happening, and I think sort of that's shown at all levels that people really do appreciate what people are doing to keep things going for young people.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I know as well as Zoom, you've been using Microsoft Teams for some of your district meetings. So what have you been doing on there and how's that been going?
So our district exec meetings have been happening on Microsoft Teams. I've also been involved with group exec meetings on Teams. It's really, really good for sharing information and bits and pieces. And it's quite good that I've got people on my district team that are more familiar with it than myself. So we've been setting up, I think they're called channels, in Teams, so as groups can share information within the groups, but we've also got various channels set up for beavers, cubs, scouts, and we've already got section leaders that are going on there. And this is probably stuff that I've sat in all kinds of leaders meetings before where people have gone, wouldn't it be really good to have somewhere we can just put program activities so we can share them, so we're not all reinventing the wheel. And it's nice to see that people are already getting onto Teams and doing that, and they've not even been asked to do that. So there's already in the Cubs and Scouts and Beavers sections on there, people are already sharing activities that they've been doing with their sections. And as a district, we're currently looking at how we move our AGM onto a virtual platform. So sort of, because you know, we could say let's keep holding off, but let's get it out of the way, so as when things begin to resume and, you know, and start to go back to normal, our focus can be on getting normal scouting up and running again, and not some of the admin stuff that we could get out of the way now, albeit in a different format to what we'd usually have.
Fantastic. So finally, what has Sleaford District got planned for, I don't know, the rest of this half term or even the rest of the summer? I don't know if you're carrying on over the summer or not.
So for a lot of our groups, they're still keen to keep things going for young people. What we're looking at now is we're starting to discuss our 110th birthday, which is coming up. So we're trying to get plans and stuff in place for that. So kind of a bit of a bounce back activity and plan that will hopefully should be a good thing for everyone to get involved with.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. Well, thank you very much for spending a little bit of time telling us what's going on in Sleaford, and also what's happening from you as a DC's role as well. So that's absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, here we are then. Right, so I'm going to introduce to you a young man called Boggit.
Hello.
A lot of you will know from doing water activities around the county. He is the Water Activity Support Unit Manager, and he's going to chat to us all about WASU, or Water Activity Support Unit, and the sort of things that they get up to, get involved with, and resources and events that potentially going to come up when we all get back to normal, and resources that you might be able to use once we can all get back out on the water. So, Boggit, over to you.
Hello there, everybody. Well, and of course you, Michelle. For those of you that haven't come across the Water Active Support Unit, we were established in September last year and signed our contract with the county to run all sorts of events this year, which unfortunately we've put on hold until this COVID is out of the way and we can get back to face-to-face scouting. So what have we been doing during lockdown? Well, I've been busily recruiting members onto the team. So we've got a full team of sailors, powerboaters, canoeists, kayakers, bell boaters. I've also got other people that can do IT, can do artwork and help, you know, on that side of things. And what else? Oh, and I've been getting up to date on paperwork with permits and such like that. So if you haven't got a permit and you want one, now's the time to apply.
And do they just contact you, Boggit, about that? Is that the best way for people to get?
Yeah, I mean, just contact me, water@lincolnshirescouts.org.uk, or you can go to Mike Dunderdale, and again, Mike's email contact and information is all on the new county website. Yeah, so that's a good plan.
So as far as what sort of things have we got that are available that, across the county? Now you said you've got plenty of people now, or more people now, to help with activities. If you've got some leaders that have already got their own, you've got permits, do we have any resources around the county that they could perhaps borrow, use, hire?
Yeah, sure. If leaders have their own permit but no equipment, we have canoes and kayaks that they can borrow. The canoes are on a trailer ready to go. There are 6 of them, and all the equipment that goes with them, paddles and buoyancies, etc. We're looking to renew the kayak trailer, but that's work in progress. There is a kayak trailer, but certainly there are plenty of boats that they can borrow. The bell boats they can hire out, and they will come with one of our bell boat team, but we're quite happy for them, the local district groups, to organise it and to run it. We'll just send somebody with us to help supervise putting it back on the trailer at the end of the session. Also, there are the SUPs, which are new. We've bought these, an entire fleet during lockdown. We've bought a fleet of 14 stand-on paddleboards, and the ambition is that they will be for groups to hire. So if you've got a permit to use a SUP, you can literally contact me, book it for a weekend or a day or whatever, and you can come and collect them and take them away. In the short term, we need to get our qualified SUP. We don't have any groups out there apart from WASU members that have currently got SUP permits. So until that time, they'll be wheeled out, I'm sure, at all the county events. We've also got a large 10-man SUP stand-on paddle. So that's probably 8 adults and about 40 beavers. And,
last seen floating off into the sunset.
Absolutely, it's about 20 foot long, and it looks as though it's going to be great fun. So,
I can see water pistols and things coming on board as well here.
I think it could be quite wet, yes.
Yeah, in one way or another. Fabulous. So we've got obviously lots of events have had to be put on the back burner. Are there any plans for those to still be happening once we've come out of lockdown, or are we kind of like pushing it into next year now?
Well, officially we've cancelled all this year's planned events. Having said that, if they suddenly announced next week we could do face-to-face scouting, I'm sure we'd quickly plan something. I don't think that's going to happen. So really, as soon as we get back to face-to-face scouting, we're going to put something on, and I would like to see something, an event for all sections.
That would be amazing.
Different event from ones that we've run in the past. I'm not quite sure how it would work yet, but I think that would be really good because everybody really wants to get out there and wash those cobwebs away. Yeah,
absolutely. That sounds amazing. Great. Well, that's absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for giving us a little bit of time and some more information all about the Water Activity Support Unit. That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Mr. Boggit, sir.
Very welcome.